he appreciated the game. I mean, he fell in love with it as a kid. And just imagine you're a kid, you're 8 years old, you're in elementary school, you write an essay that you want to be a sports broadcaster, and television hasn't even been invented yet. He absolutely loved the roar of the crowd and listening to that family radio underneath the table. He said it washed over him like water. And so when he becomes the adult, when he gets to do the play-by-play, then he lets the water wash over all the other fans. In his words, he knew when to shut up, whether it was Hank Aaron, 715, whether it was Kirk Gibson, whether it was Hershiser, all these big moments, even in football, Dwight Clark, the catch. There's no way that he was going to talk over, and he never forgot those lessons from Red Barber, and he kept it very simple. The field in front of him was a blank canvas every night, and he was a painter. He would paint those word pictures, and we were along for the ride for 67 years. So many generations enjoyed him. Even if you weren't a baseball fan, you just thought, this is a nice man. He's telling interesting stories. I like his voice. He'll occasionally wink when he comes out of commercial. Oh, we're back. Things like that. You just like the man's personality, and he was truly a treasure to know. A couple months ago, actually, he calls up in the morning and he said, "What are you doing?" And, in that broadcaster voice. And I said, "Well, I don't want you to think less of me, but I just got done listening to one of your broadcasts from 50 years ago on YouTube. And you were trying to sell me beer, something about the water." And he shoots back, "It's always the water." And so right off the bat, he was just playful like that. But it was just such a good interaction. Every time you talked to him, you felt good. He really lifted those around him. My memory of Vin Scully is going to be, the entirety of my life, 50 out of 57 years, when you're a little leaguer that's no good, but you still love the environment, you still love the stadium, you still love everything about baseball because of his personalities, because of his stories. And then later you find out what a great person he is, and you find out how talented he is behind the scenes. He's just one of those magical people that you have the honor to know, and you were just in awe every time you saw him. He didn't want you to act like, oh my goodness, it's Vin Scully, but you knew you were in the presence of somebody very special. And just imagine the strangers that he encountered every single day. This was their experience, my Vin Scully moment. And every single time, no matter who it was, he came through because he knew, even though he was embarrassed, he knew how important he was to people, and he wanted to give them a great memory. I think 50 years from now, 100 years, we'll still be talking about Vin Scully because of the lessons. Today, the sun rose above Dodger Stadium. There are campers on the field, and they've got their own dreams. And Vinny would remind everybody that he was able to live his dream as an 8-year-old, being able to be a play-by-play broadcaster. Oh my goodness, that came true. And anybody that was associated with him, they're just going to smile, just like somebody's relative. If you have a grandfather or a grandmother or somebody who's passed on, but they were very important in your life, if you had Vin Scully, he's always going to be in your heart.